From the Multifamily Studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, with Patrick and Carrie Antrim. Live today in Multifamily.
Welcome to Live Today in Multifamily.
Yeah, exciting. I know that a lot's gone into putting this production together.
Yes.
I know that we've got some people online here.
We've got Portland in the house. We've got Atlanta.
Yeah, some of us joined earlier, all over the country. So it's exciting to be with you today. I know Multifamily Live is really one piece of our component to
That's right.
bring content to you from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And well, welcome. You're our new viewers, so thanks for being with us today. And you want to give us a rundown of what to expect in the show? We've got...
Sure. So we're going to go live every Friday, 10 a.m. What are we, Mountain Standard right now? So 9 a.m. Pacific and noon if you're on the East Coast. You can watch us on your lunch break, We're going to go live every Friday. We're going to talk about all kinds of things happening within the industry, some things even outside the industry that we think are important for everybody to know. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and I know our producer, I'm not sure if he's checking the live, but maybe we can tune into comments as we go. We'll get to those throughout the viewers, but on live.multifamilystudios.com, you can see us live here. We also are going to be on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, also on multifamilybiz.com. So there's all exciting things around how to be seen on the show. If you're on Biz and you're publishing press releases and content there, we're going to pick up some exciting shows with that as well. So
that's right.
We talked about the hashtags. We talked about the social shares. We've had some pretty cool things happening in the studio. Talk about the studio.
We have. Like I said, we bring in people from within the industry. We bring in people from outside the industry as well. So lately we've had, we just had Amy Smith Montoya come in and shoot a little series.
Right.
And that was great. She talked about intentional personal growth, personal and business, strategies you can apply in all aspects of your life. So that was really cool. We also had the authors of the new power couple, Aaron and Jocelyn Freeman. I believe they're joining us live in the chat room today as well. They're just an incredible couple sharing their wisdom. They've got a strong mission, and it was fun to have them in the studio. We also had Walter Clark. He is the author of the 7 Mistakes Millionaires Make.
That is powerful.
Powerful stuff.
He's re-envisioning, like, the world of finance has changed with technology, and long gone are the stockbrokers, the fee models, all of those things that
right.
We're managing for a lot of those funds,
right.
And investment groups, and so at the end game, it's the investor that invests in those things that he helps shape the future for. Big money and new way to create wealth and keep wealth and transfer it.
Right.
Too.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Really excited about that too.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of the other cool things, like the studios, multifamily studios. What can we experience?
Right. We have a platform called multifamilystudios.com. So if you think of Netflix, it's like that. It's a very similar viewing experience. We have created and curated wisdom from people who you might not normally have access to. We have either brought them to our studios here in Scottsdale, or we have gone to them to extract this knowledge. We have filmed it, and we have put it in a platform that is easy for you to access and view. So you can do that anytime, multifamilystudios.com. I think it's less than 1 cup of coffee per month or something.
Yeah, there's no
silly.
way that, look, we're paying for education, we're paying for content, we're traveling all around the world to events. The world's moving so fast. How do you get the information you need? But most importantly, it's really about us extracting the knowledge from those that are winning, that are not professional speakers. They're not speaking anywhere. They're
right.
actually building, putting deals together, reshaping technology. We're going out into the prop tech community. We're bringing that back, and we're going to change the way products are introduced too. Some pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your morning like? What was it like coming, you knew you were going to be live. You
Today?
had to get the kids to school.
I had to get a couple of kids to school. We've had a morning, but I've had some coffee. Maybe more than I should have. Just coffee, I promise. But no, I'm excited. This is really fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So where are we next?
Well, we are in the know.
In the know.
Yeah, so we're going to bring you, each week some different segments. We're going to talk about things that you should know that are happening or that we think are important. We are going to scour the interwebs for all kinds of news. We're going to bring you interesting news about people on the move, who's being promoted, who's going here, who's doing that, what are these companies doing. We have our best places to work companies. We'll be highlighting them, their good news. We also have a way for you to share your own good news. If you go to live.multifamilystudios.com at the bottom, it says,
oh yes,
submit news. How about that?
Yeah.
So you can do, if you've got a press release going out about something cool, you can submit that. If you have a video or photos, I know that many of you out there within your organizations, you do social outreach, charities, you're donating your time, you're running 5Ks, whatever it is you're doing. If it's awesome, we want to know about it.
It's not really like, hey, we bought a new property kind of news.
No, it's more about, we're people focused.
Right.
So we are excited when you acquire new things and you're growing the industry. We are mostly excited about what your people are doing. So.
Right, and sometimes the innovation piece, like, hey, we have this new smart home technology, we just implemented it, and here's how it's going, and really cool things like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. Very fun. What else? Okay.
Let's see. So today's in the know.
Should we bring up the new 2020? There's a spotlight we're going to put on multifamily biz. There's a segment called 2020 Emerging Multifamily Housing Tech Trends. It's coming up January 22nd, 2020 at multifamilybiz.com. Just go to multifamilybiz.com. You're going to want to watch out for this upcoming show. It's around the corner. Simply just click webcasts, and you can very easily from that page register to join this. You got two really important topics here, actually many important topics, but two really important people that have a vision and a clarity around the things that are happening for what's next for multifamily. So I would encourage you all to go over to Multifamily Biz, get registered, save your seat. I don't know if there's limited seats, but definitely you don't want to miss that one.
Right.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's exciting. Okay. Also in the know, and this is especially...
I see you shuffling your papers.
I have
You're like
papers.
a professional news
I didn't.
broadcaster,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't go to journalism school even, but I went to a college that had a journalism school. So I think by proxy, I'm good to go.
Well, the world's changing. I mean, you heard that today with different news and subscription models being launched. Tyler.
Yeah.
Talked about it at Funnel. He talked about the unbundling.
Unbundling.
There's two ways to make money. There's the bundling of the business and put everything together, and you've seen companies acquire other companies, and the industry's sort of been bundled.
Right.
Now there's the unbundling, and Disney unbundled it, and their stock is going through the roof. Netflix is unbundled Hollywood, and what we're trying to do here is what Hollywood did for the movies, we want to do for multifamily. So if you can think of like CNBC, or a way that you can get content without leaving your home, your office, your business unit. There's a lot of people in the business that want that next level learning, want that next level news, information, but can't get it, and they can't wait all year to get it.
Right.
So there's a little bit of disruption happening that we're part of.
Yeah.
And it's exciting because we're not trying to be disruptive. And journalism is not something that is required, right? You just have to take action.
Right.
We're an innovative brand.
We're just doing it.
Let's risk some stuff here. Let's leap here.
Yeah.
We're making mistakes, I'm
We're
sure.
We're figuring it out as we go.
Shuffle my papers sideways.
Shuffle your papers and
fold them.
Just don't turn them upside down. You might have some issues.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about the Women's Summit. This year, the 2020 Multifamily Women's Summit is coming up March 18th and 19th here in lovely Scottsdale, Arizona. So if you are out there in Chicago or Minnesota or Ohio, you might want to make this trip because Scottsdale is beautiful in March. All the wildflowers are blooming. However, also, more importantly, we have some really amazing people that are slated to be at this summit. First is Keisha Fisher with Graystar. She is an incredible wealth of knowledge. She is a technology ambassador for the global technology team for Graystar. Her current focus is on new development and construction, but we met her at our November Innovation Summit, and we've spoken to her a couple times, and she is going to be one of the speakers at our summit in March. So I'm really excited for that.
And a lot of good people checking in here online on the chat.
Oh, what do we got going on?
See that.
Oh, hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
From Atlanta.
Yep.
All right.
Very fun stuff. Freemans are on board.
Freemans are right here in Scottsdale.
Yes. So who else? I mean, we've got a lineup of speakers. We're bringing in a really funny and engaging, amazing keynote that's going to really talk about collaboration. We have not revealed who that is yet.
We have not announced who that is. We will announce that soon.
Right.
But what I am excited about is our show host.
Oh, what's a show host? So we do things differently. What's a show host?
Okay, we do things differently than the normal. The Multifamily Women's Summit is not a conference. If you were at our November Innovation Summit, you might remember Jeff talking about how it's not a conference, it's a summit.
It's a show.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Just a show.
Used to be a summit. It's a show.
Now it's a show. See, we're innovating right now. So we run it like a show. We have a show host who will have conversations with people on stage and dive a little deeper, get a little further into what is going on, how we can apply that in our daily lives, in our business, and all that. More like if you think about Ellen, the Ellen Show, or a talk show, the Jimmy Fallon, a host who's interviewing a guest. It's more like that.
Yeah.
Rather than
people are enjoying that.
I think so.
Conversations.
Yeah.
It's not structured in a way that it's intentional to transform information. It's really about how do you extract the wisdom in a natural flow state, almost as if you're having coffee with a mentor.
Right.
And then, the audience gets to peek in.
Right.
And then when we say show, what we mean by that is, number one, the set. It's like a studio audience. And then it goes into the streaming platform, which is essentially a Netflix viewing experience. So if you've been at the show, you get access to those recordings. You don't have to take notes. You can be really engaged with the speaker.
Yeah. I want to do a real quick shout out. We've got Sherry from Seattle. Hi, Sherry.
Sherry, hello.
Sherry D. We know who that is. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so without any further ado, I'd like to announce our show host is Jessica Fern with FPI Management. She's the Director of Training and Development. Jessica is just an incredible woman. She reached out to us over the summer. She took her own vacation and flew to Scottsdale. She came into our studio. She filmed a couple of courses, a dinner talk. I mean, she was such a trooper. We were like, hey, Jessica, we're going to do this now. Okay, and now we're going to go here and we're going to film this. And she just rolled with it and absolutely crushed it.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Now, I heard she's on the show today.
I think we might have her live.
All right.
I'm so glad to have you.
Now, is this the wolf you've been talking about?
This is the wolf of leadership.
Yes, in the flesh. Well, digitally today.
Close enough. Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, you're at the FPI headquarters, I see. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's new? What's exciting?
So this was a very productive week for us at FPI. It was our annual kind of meeting of the minds here today. Well, yesterday, a lot of us flew in and we had about 30 of our directors, senior directors, and executives roundtable yesterday at the Folsom corporate office and kind of talk about pain points and initiatives for 2020. And we believe in collaboration at FPI, which is amazing. That's actually one of my favorite words because it means co-labor. And it's something that we do really well at FPI together. So, I mean, we were in the room yesterday from 9 to 5, really slicing and dicing. How do we make our site team, which you guys know I love to call them the street team, lives easier? What's working, what's not, what do we need to innovate? How do we become progressive? And I just love that for a company this size, we are still doing those things. We're still collaborating and working together. So very productive day yesterday.
Wow.
It's exciting. You guys were one of the best places to work nationally, and so excited about that. And just watching your journey to help develop and build those teams is exciting. And we're just really thrilled that you're part of the experience for the Women's Summit.
Me too.
How excited are you to come back to Scottsdale in March?
Well, the weather in Seattle, where I live in March, is horrible. So that's a bonus.
Okay, good.
I could not be more excited for the lineup, for the speakers. The agenda has been so carefully and wonderfully crafted. It's the content and the individuals coming on are just at such an appropriate time for what we're experiencing in our industry, which is, a need for innovation, a need for progression, hearing from folks who have done it well, made mistakes along the way. I think that our attendees are going to get so much out of the conference and just feel like the luckiest person ever to be able to extract that and have those conversations and build the relationships with the individuals on stage.
Yeah, that's really
I sure
sweet.
hope so.
And it's interesting because you're the one usually speaking, and now you're going to be asking the questions, so it'll be a fun experience to watch. Should we tease? You're going to be opening the show too. You've got the stage at the opening.
I do. The whole thing is mine. I could not be more excited to open the show. I think my biggest goal is just to set an intention and create an environment where maybe what you've done before, what you thought that you knew before isn't the same, right? Because there's power in what we give power to. And my hope is that everyone leaves this conference with new things to give power to and things to take power from. So that's just kind of a little teaser about what we'll be setting the stage for you to enjoy that entire day. So couldn't be more thrilled.
How fun.
That's so great.
Yeah. Are you going to be hiking with us too, or?
You know it. Totally.
All right. Good. We'll put you in front. You can lead it.
So
we'll give you a flag.
Have you been watching Ellen? Like, how are you preparing for this?
I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and run stairs. And
yeah, me too.
Not the hike, I mean the show. Yeah, so.
Okay.
We're running a 5K. Was it?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. We're running a 5K. It's a first for me. I'm not a runner. I'm a walker.
I'm a sprinter.
A very slow walker. So we're gonna see how this goes, but I think we've digressed here.
Yeah, that's fun.
Anyway.
All right. Well, Jessica, say hello to all the friends at FPI, and I know you've got to run, but thanks for jumping on with us today.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you soon.
All right. Can't wait.
Thanks.
She's so great. Yeah.
That was cool.
I'm really excited.
I mean, how exciting can we do this, right? Like, bring people on.
Yeah.
Bring them on the show.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a thought leader and you have expertise, we want to extract the knowledge from the industry. We think that there's some real opportunities there. So
absolutely.
Reach out to us at live.multifamilystudios.com. There's a link on there to be on the show, submit news, those types of things. But we would love to have you on the show maybe next time.
Yeah.
So where are we in the show?
We are now at the point where we're going to talk about the buzz on biz.
Ooh, what
is biz?
Buzz and what is biz?
Well, I think we know what buzz is. Buzz is exciting stuff going on. Oh, I shouldn't touch my mic. So biz is multifamilybiz.com.
Now, multifamilybiz.com is the largest media site in the industry. And so over, I don't know how many years, 15 years, they've just been organically the sort of uninfluenced voice of multifamily. And you're seeing that shift happen big time with content and the importance of content with the speed of the way the business is changing. And so I know many of you have put together, press releases, maybe videos. You've listened to I'm just so impressed with Biz because of the monthly webcasts between Ernest and Carrie. They do those I know how hard it is to run a podcast and run a show, but it's clockwork for decades.
Right.
That's a commitment to the industry, and they're not out there to try and monetize. They're out there to serve value and create value. And now we're actually publishing our best places to work multifamily winners and rankers for the industry on Biz, which gives us access to, at the time, 1.7 million monthly viewers, and that's going to grow to 2 million. I know the trend. I talked to Carrie this morning.
You did?
I did.
Oh, good.
So
Anyway.
That's the Biz.
Okay,
What is the Buzz?
The Buzz is just the latest news, things that we find interesting and think that you might find interesting. If you missed it, you can check it out. So I actually found this article written by Carrie Kirby. He is the founder of 365 Connect.
Okay.
It's about influencers. Are you familiar with what an influencer is?
Well, most people think of influencers and they're thinking like the Kardashians.
Right. That's true.
Not this kind of
Not this kind. Today we're going to talk about the micro influencer and how the micro influencer can play a part in your business even. Basically, an influencer can be anyone who lives anywhere who has a following of people who might be influenced by what they're saying or doing or sharing or tweeting, all that kind of stuff. Micro influencers are in every niche. And what I thought was most interesting was this, and I'm just going to read it so that I get it correct. I don't want to mess up any stats.
You're statistically well-spoken.
Well, thank you. A recent study shows that 82% of consumers are highly likely to follow the recommendation made by a micro-influencer because they are believed to be more credible, knowledgeable, and proficient in explaining how a product or service could be used.
Right.
More than an average person. So,
well, before it was like, we all know the importance of reviews.
Oh, of course.
But now
right.
brands know that social media has transformed transparency and customer service and that experience, that even with Yelp, it's like, you think about how can I manage reviews?
Right.
Either incentivize them to give you a review. So the customers are starting to figure out like, hey, maybe a review isn't really the truest, testimonials. Right. I mean, you're going to get all the people that are going to speak positive. They're not going to give a, so I look at this with a different perspective of like, we all know that technology is changing the industry, but this is an example of how even the leasing agent role is re-envisioning. So normally you lease an apartment, you work for that company and you lease the 300 units.
Right.
But technically, if you're an influencer, you can lease the whole city.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, maybe comment below if you think perhaps at some point we give resident referrals, we give leasing commissions and leasing referrals. The revenue's already there. Are we thinking about this in the right ways, and could potentially the local interior designer be the best person on their Instagram following to show pictures of the model that can, get the right photography and the right elements and bring an organic traffic authentically to a community? That's the leasing agent of the future.
Absolutely.
So if you're a leasing agent, maybe you should be becoming an influencer. Right.
What I also thought was interesting is, I think we automatically think that the more followers you have, the more influential you are. Well, they actually found that that's not exactly true. This is Instagram specific.
Yeah.
Users with 1,000 to 10,000 followers actually have the highest engagement rate. So you would think that, these celebrities, like you were talking about, with millions of...
I wonder if it's like, you're watching, because people will watch, they'll get the alert, they'll watch the content, but maybe they won't engage because they're thinking, well, I'm just one of a million.
One of a million,
But if it's like there's 200 people, like, oh, they're going to hear my comment.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
They just engage more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just, you start to think about how you live your daily life. And I think these are just some really cool, innovative ways to rent more apartments.
Yeah,
right?
Think
more
about marketing differently.
And, it used to be, so if I'm a leasing agent, I'm thinking about how do I start being an influencer for our own community. Right. That's your job. Right. And so when you do that, then ultimately, maybe it's then your company, maybe it's the portfolio, right? And then beyond that, it's like start being an influencer in your community. Like if you're in Scottsdale, there's so many really cool things happening. Phoenix Open, Barrett Jackson, to the city center, to the Old Town, and the festivals and all these things, start really talking about those things. And now you've got people in that otherwise are not hunting for an apartment. And then they're thinking, wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be looking at renting, cash out on the home and, rent an apartment.
Absolutely.
All right. We've got some more people saying hello. Hello, everybody on the chat. We'll get to, we will read all the comments for sure. And if we don't get to you on the live stream, we'll definitely, see them in the comments. So appreciate you guys engaging on the show. All right, so Buzz on the Biz, that was a great article.
Well, thank you. By Carrie
Kirby.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'll take credit on his behalf.
Yeah, he did it. He wrote the article.
Yeah.
He's an intellectual writer. He understands technology. He's been an owner and developer. He understands the internet, and he understands where things are going.
Yeah.
So he did all the work.
Yes.
And I'm just riffing off of what the research you did. So thank you. Which I think is important. Bring these things into your next meeting. Bring these things into your next team meeting and ask people to think. What do you guys think about this? Should we be doing this?
Yeah. All right. So we talked about multifamily studios, and we wanted to give you kind of a little sneak peek on a couple of things that we think you should watch in this segment called 3 to Watch.
Yes. And do you want to bring that up right now, or?
Yeah. So we met.
Because before we go into 3 to Watch, I did want to mention that, this is a show today in multifamily, right? And so here we are today, it's in multifamily. But beyond that, our goal is to go out and meet, we talked about technology, and go out and meet interesting people from Hollywood, right? To creative spaces, to technology, things that are going to influence our customer, really. And one of those things that we've done in our studio, and you haven't seen it yet, it hasn't been released, it's coming soon on studios, but you will see it in other places as well, is the Freemans.
Yes.
They're the new power couple. They wrote a book called The New Power Couple, and it's all about relationships in the marriage and creating those healthy relationships, really, changing the world, really. If you can fix marriage into today, they do online workshops, they do live event workshops, but you think about going through that process, a marriage is, if you think about in technology, you have the company that buys the technology, and then you have the new tech, and there's a marriage there, technically. I mean, like we have a partnership.
Absolutely.
We have unique values.
Yep.
There's so much learning that we're learning from spending time with them that is really could help you create a healthier organization.
Right. It doesn't matter. I mean, you have relationships with everybody. You know, everybody you work with on a daily basis. Sometimes you might spend more time with them than you do your spouse or your loved ones, your family at home, because you see them every day.
Except you.
Well, I'm the lucky one. I see you all day.
Well, yeah.
But
I think
you got me off track.
We see people every day.
Right. So the things that the Freemans are talking about are skills that you can use in any kind of relationship, whether it's, romantic or not. If it's a work relationship, those skills still apply in certain ways. Yeah,
and I like what you said about that skills, because that specifically it's not like, counseling. It's that gap between it's really skilling up. We're not really trained to do these things.
No, you don't go to school for marriage or relationships, like how to do such and such correctly. So they are bringing the skill set on.
We'll have them on the show maybe.
We will have them on the show. They're great.
Very fun. Okay. So, what else?
Well, now can we do 3, 2, watch?
Do you want to explain what 3, 2, watch is?
I thought I did.
Did we?
I'll do it again.
We did?
Yeah, well, we're just going to give you a couple of clips here.
What is 3, is it the 3, 2, 1?
Right, 3, like a countdown.
Oh, it's like a countdown?
A countdown, but instead of 1, it's 3, 2, watch, because here are 3 things that we think you should watch on Multifamily Studios.
Yes.
And we just can't get enough of Jessica. So we're going to start with Jessica. We mentioned it a little earlier, how she flew into Scottsdale on her summer vacation. She came down here. We trekked her all around the town, really.
Yes.
Yeah, 100 degrees. It was great.
It was fun.
She was a trooper. So here we go. Let's take a look at what Jessica has to say.
Yeah, one of the things I love that's happening in our industry right now is, all the innovation, and with innovation comes trial and error. Right. And sometimes we're like, okay, it's okay to do a lot of trial, but not a ton of error.
Oh my goodness.
And we want to, spend some time focusing on what successful failure looks like. So with, rise and fail, it's all about how do you do that successfully and create a culture that supports that.
All right.
Very cool. Look at
we're just checking comments. Sorry.
Look at comments over. We didn't say anything about our LinkedIn.
Yeah,
we're live on LinkedIn.
We're going to give our LinkedIn folks some love here.
Dion's live with us.
Cheryl. Ooh, from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
We got Fran from San Fran. Jake, Atlanta. We got ATL up in the house. I love it. Andrew, Chris Mott.
Chris. Hey,
Chris.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you guys for watching. We're excited to have you here. Did you want to talk about?
Well, I just think the clip is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, how can I recap that?
Right.
I mean, there's so much more. You can see the whole show. The dinner talk, I think, is what's important to talk about.
Do you want to explain what a dinner talk is?
Yeah. So, we already have re-envisioned what a conference is. Why you attend them? How to stay engaged? How to get the content, how to really transform an industry. And part of it, I started to think about, from the industry partner standpoint and the executive standpoint, executives don't have time.
Right.
Okay. And industry partners actually have something that can help them.
Right.
But they don't, there's this divide, right?
Right.
So they have to spend all this money, travel around, do these shows, and position their products. But really, when you go to these events and conferences, everyone's in the hallways or it's at dinner where the deals get done.
Right.
And why? Because you can spend time, you can deepen those relationships and get to the hurdles, the obstacles, the pains.
Right.
And the time that it takes to transfer information. So if you think about whenever you're selling something, you're trying to sell an apartment for rent, you're trying to sell yourself to get a new job, a new management company, your product to a new investor, there's information that has to be transferred. And the more complicated the technology or the thing, the more time it takes to transfer. So if you're at a trade show and people are just buzzing by.
Oh, you have the constraints of that, that 2 minute.
It's just like, give me the pin and I'm out or whatever.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that you don't get the time to truly help the client.
Right.
They're there for something. But what we've done is we've simulated that dinner. And we put the cameras far back. We've got these huge 4K cameras, 4 camera shoots, and we put them far back. We zoom in, and in this case, it was a roving scenario with Jessica.
Yeah.
But the cameras sort of disappear.
Yeah.
And my experience is to get people into what's called a natural flow state, into that dinner where you're truly just helping the people understand the vision of either where the industry's going. And secondly, the people that we have in these dinner talks, people would love to have dinner with them.
Yeah.
And they just can't do that.
Right.
Jessica doesn't have time to meet everybody.
Right.
So we take that dinner and we bring it to you.
Yeah, it's really fun.
The dinner talk.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go on to our next clip of Larry Gorman with Lease Hawk. Let's see what he has to say.
Even though this really cool innovation and technology is opening up a lot of possibilities, the fundamentals of running a business haven't changed. You have to, a mistake a lot of executives make is they get excited about this technology and they first ask, how can I use it in my business?
Right.
And that's the wrong question to be asking. It should be, what problems are out there that I'm facing that we haven't done an effective job of solving, and what are other people doing to solve it so I can learn from others, and what technology is out there that may think about a creative solution in solving this problem that others haven't thought of before. If you can get alignment within your company or within your leadership team on what are the right problems for you to tackle as a leadership team to help you achieve your broader objectives, that's where it starts. Once you understand the problem, then, especially if you're using an unproven solution, you've got to open up the opportunity to experiment, to iterate, to have a little bit of trial and error. The better data you have, the more information you have, the better your decision making is going to be. So don't think big bang type of an implementation. Make some educated hypotheses about what you want to do. Break it up into smaller pieces, execute those pieces and get feedback, and then adjust your plan.
With Larry's talk right there, where was he? Was he on the Tonight Show?
I think he was on the Tomorrow Night Show.
Yeah, so do you want to explain what that is?
Sure. Well, everybody's...
Do you want me to explain it, or do you want to go for it?
I'll start. You can pick up.
No, you go for it.
Balanced organization right here in action.
Healthy balance. That's true.
I think most everybody's familiar with the Tonight Show, right? Right now it's Jimmy Fallon.
Maybe for some of you, it's Jay
Leno or Johnny Carson. Was he the first?
Probably.
Fact checker. Anyway, so you're familiar with the Tonight Show. They talk about, what happened during the day, what happened today. Jimmy recaps it and does funny monologues and stuff like that. Well, we have the Tomorrow Night Show, where Patrick talks about what's happening tomorrow. Okay, that it's all about the innovation. So he's out there finding these people, these experts, to come in and talk about what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah,
what do we need to know?
And part of this show is like I said earlier, like the CNBC of multifamily. That's the goal.
Right.
Beyond an event, like this is content, right? But for us to do this, we have a full team. We have producers, we have editorial writers, we have lighting engineers that come in, sound engineers, we have our live event team and things like that, seg sheets and scripting and all these things that have to happen for this to happen. And sort of, the exciting thing about that is, nobody thought that would be a thing that we needed, right? We would just go to MSNBC or CNBC to get news. The reality is they're not giving our story enough attention, right? Like they're not giving affordable housing the attention it needs, right? So how can we, with this channel, take affordable housing, tell the story that needs to be told, all of these sort of elements, but it's really about bringing it, again, back to you. So we think about this Tomorrow Night Show, and as you think about your day, when assembling that team I've described, we actually have a writer on team too, humor coach, producer, and his idea was really to kind of get us the clarity, like, hey, GoDaddy is working on fun stuff with employee culture. There's Tesla's doing some fun stuff, and there's unique brands that are hidden that are just winning. Let's bring those in, talk to them, and set the industry up for success.
Right.
So anyway, it's kind of fun because through that dialogue, it's like, think about how much time you think about tomorrow, right?
Right.
Where the kids, we just
what
talked
am I
about
going to make for dinner?
It's a 5K tomorrow.
We've got a 5K. Some people are like, I do a 5K in my sleep. Not these two.
It also could be, is my business going to be in business tomorrow?
Right. Is this new tech that I'm looking at going to be relevant tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the essence of the Tomorrow Night Show, and that's the set, and we're also having fun.
We are.
And Larry did a great job. He has a live studio. He waves at him.
Larry's great. Yeah.
So fun stuff. And you guys are the live studio audience. We do have, not today, it's a private showing today, but we will have where you can come to the live studio, be part of the live audience, and also maybe pop on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but can I now talk about Larry? I mean, this is our show. We got plenty of time, right? We're not doing commercials.
No.
Right? There's no commercial
break. No commercial breaks.
So stick with me on this one, because Larry Gorman is so brilliant. He's done so many great things. He did mergers up to $20 billion. Hospitality. He knows technology, hospitality, knows the customer. Mike Mueller at Leasehawk is very smart. He brought him on, and you can see the trend of what they're doing to build that. The future is like, it's like a secret in their pocket. I don't know.
Mike is very thoughtful about everything he does.
Definitely a brand you want to watch, but Larry just blew me away because we had green room conversations. We know all about his favorite movies, all that kind of stuff.
We do.
We do know that. But what's so important about that is, long ago, and even there's a lot of groups still this way, that they build their business based off of, transactions.
Right.
So in order to go, from entry level all the way up to owning a company, it's like you need to understand the fundamentals of the business, which was, how to put a deal together, acquire it, put the right people together, understand the maintenance, calculate your ROIs and internal rates of returns and all the transactional blah, 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 right? There's plenty of places to get that. You won't see that here.
No.
But the reality was companies are being held accountable now, not just in our industry, but beyond. Just start looking at Uber and Google and the things that have happened in culture. Beyond, companies are being held accountable to more than just profits. And if you look at it, we've sort of rewarded our industry by, hey, you bought a lot of stuff, you've raised a lot of capital. The tech industry saw this when people were just raising money as if like you're winning.
Right.
Like, yeah, we were in debt, like you're in debt. I know you got capital.
Right.
But I think when they do those announcements, it's more like, hey, we've got enough money to handle build the product the right way and stuff like that. But executives of the future, and the future is here, are going to be held accountable to how well they create a healthy organization. And I'll anchor our best places to work multifamily. Those are those companies. Look at the social responsibility that's coming through.
Right.
They're taking care of their employees. Their
communities.
LG. When we went to LG, could you believe how much a global brand of 230,000 employees cared about the environment?
Right.
And the client experience and where the products were going, and I was just blown away. So you can be a massive organization and still care.
Exactly.
And it starts with what Larry was talking about. You need to have somebody in your organization. You can't delegate innovation to somebody. Like, oh, we hired a tech person. Oh, we hired a innovation person. Like, the executive really needs to understand these things. And you just can't wait a year to go to a conference to do that. And again, that's why we're doing what we're doing. So long-winded on that, but anchoring that into being an innovation catalyst. Can we bring up Heather?
Yeah, we had Heather Wallace with Sarah's Regis Group in the studio, along with, on a side note, Sherry Druckman was here talking about affordable housing. You mentioned that a little earlier, but let's take a look at what Heather had to say about being and hiring an innovation catalyst.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
Bringing someone in that's going to be an innovation catalyst or champion for your firm, you're going to need to find somebody who not only has experience in the industry, but is also a change agent, is curious, loves knowledge, is constantly looking to better themselves, that is going to want to apply all of those personalities to your firm and to help. And they're going to have a quick pace. They may outpace everybody else in your organization, but that's what you need to get in front of what's coming. We are getting disrupted.
And, disruption is disruptive sometimes. Having that innovation catalyst can ease the pain of that. Because honestly, look, the customer knows what they want. And as an organization, we've got to build those things. So I thought we would bring up another segment that we talk about, and I don't know if we'll do this each week, but it's in our exhibitor hall.
Right.
So the exhibitor hall is it's virtually. It's if you've ever been on Amazon Prime or even Netflix, you'll see that there's what we call swim lanes. And I know other people call it that probably too. I mean, I probably learned it somewhere.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, and in that swim lane, you would see on Netflix, it would be like comedies or drama or action.
Trending now or continue watching. Everybody knows the continue watching.
Yeah, so we have swim lanes and it's continue watching. And we've got our original series. I think we're up to over 100 shows right now. But one of those is, summit recordings. We have, an exhibitor hall swim lane. Now, these are the innovative brands that we've either gone out, like LG, and went to their studio.
In Napa.
Yeah, they flew us up to Napa. What was that like?
Oh, well, that was my first time in Napa. I will say that. It was an incredible experience. LG has a showcase there where they have all of their products that are available in the multifamily space. Smart home from appliances. But you know what was interesting? When we were there, number one, I know it's hard to get out of the office. But of course. When you thought of LG before you went there, it was like different. It was like they have phones and electronics and things like that. But I mean, when I went there, I didn't know the surfaces division, the houses. Houses. I mean, houses. You've got like houses, right? Yes.
And it's house systems, is what that means, right? And just being there was so cool. Number one, they just are a great host.
Well, yeah, they were wonderful. But we saw things there that we didn't even know existed.
And last week we sent Felicity Mormon
to CES.
To CES, live at CES, and she went to the LG booth, showed us that door.
So that was the coolest thing ever.
Do you want to talk about
Yeah,
that?
I do, because I want you to keep thinking about it, you know.
Oh, for the house, yeah.
For us. So LG has this locker, basically. It doesn't look, it's not like
it's a front door.
It's pretty, right? Right next to your front door that matches your architecture and all that good stuff. And it's basically a drop box for like Amazon, you know, so, or whoever's delivering your groceries or your packages. There's one that's, I think, just normal, and then one that's refrigerated.
Really cool.
Even it's really cool. I'm not doing it justice. Yeah. But, you know, so Felicity was saying she hasn't been to a grocery store in 3 years. So she is familiar with the grocery delivery. Yeah, you just give them a code, put your groceries right in there. It's refrigerated. You're good to go.
Yeah, and so for developers, that makes a lot of sense to start thinking about that in design. Obviously, for retrofits, it's a little harder to tap that in, but that's definitely where things are going. Yeah. So we sent Felicity. Well, we didn't send her. She was going there. I mean,
she spoke, I think.
She spoke in 2 sessions at CES. And she's also going to South by Southwest. She'll be overseas, and we're going to be bringing her live on the show as she learns about what's next for not only smart home, but all of multifamily.
The world.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that was fun to watch. Yeah. So in the swim lane exhibitor hall, we have a few shows on LG. We have the full show. We've got
we did some interviews.
Showcase.
Yep, the innovation showcase. We did some interviews with some of the people there, and
yeah. So you'll think about brands differently when you get to know them a little deeper, and how much they can really help you and your business. So
another fun one we have in that exhibitor hall swim lane is Smart Rent.
Yes.
And if you know Demetrius, you know that he's just a fun guy, super smart. He's just animated and lovely. We've got a full interview with him.
Yep.
We've got his innovation showcase.
He came in the studio in the green room, and he took over the whiteboard, and he just made it just like mind-blowing on how to really think about smart home, not just his product.
Right.
But he's
and he started as a leasing agent, he said, in college. You know, I think like many do. So he's followed the whole thing, right?
And then, but beyond that, even his background, even in the single family space, I mean, really, it's truly about. I think he's at the stage now where he just wants to help educate so people make the right decisions, and he's aligned. But they're a sponsor and have done some great things. So I would definitely check out.
We're going to do some on-site filming with them next week.
That's right.
So,
we're going to some of their properties to actually showcase the product.
See what they've got going on.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about our next one, Tyler?
Sure, go for it.
You want me to talk about that?
Tyler Christensen with Funnel. By Nestillo. We've got his innovation showcase there in that swim lane, and you mentioned earlier Tyler talks about unbundling. So if you don't know what that is, I would highly recommend watching. His show is called Automating the Leasing Experience, but go watch that, learn about what unbundling really means.
Right. It's definitely a trend that once he explains it, you understand, like, oh, I see where we've been, and then he's like, this is where we're going, and here's how we can help. So that's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry. Love that you guys are on the chat, sticking with us. Of course, we're on, again, LinkedIn. Some of us might be catching us on Twitter. Where else? Facebook. But we'll probably focus on the live show, live.multifamilystudios.com, and maybe LinkedIn for the comments. So make sure to put #multifamily if you're tweeting this out, and you're looking to either be featured on the show. We'll have comments.
Multifamily Live. Hashtag right?
Multifamily
Live.
Absolutely.
Hey, Kim. How are you?
At the footer of the page on live.multifamily studios, you can submit good news.
Right.
We talked about that. We've already had some people do that, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to...
so we're going to talk about our good news that we have this week. I've got a couple of things here. We were just talking about Tyler Christensen with Nestillo, and it was just announced that he was actually promoted to Chief Operating Officer.
Yay,
so we are excited for Tyler. If you know Tyler, you
tag him in the comments if you're watching on
you might know his bright pink shoes.
Yes.
Those made an appearance at our November Innovation Summit.
Yeah.
And those are awesome. But we are excited for Tyler. He is a forward thinker and doing great things.
He's just always been someone I've gone to just really understand. It's always been focused on the customer, that journey, both where he's been and where he's going. So fun stuff there.
Yeah.
Who else do we have?
We have a promotion. Erin Webb, congratulations on your promotion to Regional Property Manager. Erin works for WPM Real Estate Management. Erin has over 15 years of experience in the multifamily industry. She has worked for other companies like Bozzuto and Quest Management Group, and we are excited for her as she is moving on to this new adventure. So great job, Erin.
Exciting, Erin. Good job. And I know that with all the promotions happening, we don't hear enough about it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you might see a blurb on LinkedIn or something like that, which is great.
Yeah, it is.
But we're taking this opportunity to really shout it out.
So, and I think that really it's again our effort to solve maybe even the talent problem. I mean, you start showing this kind of stuff to people, championing the people that are already working with you.
You're going to attract the talent that you want.
Who doesn't want to be part of that team?
Exactly. Speaking of promotions and new hires, we've got Bainbridge. I would like to mention that Bainbridge is a sponsor of our Multifamily Women's Summit. You can see that there. They're an official supporter. So welcome to the team, Bainbridge. We are glad to have you.
And that's a badge. What is a badge?
Oh yeah, so that's a badge. When you become a sponsor for Multifamily Women, we give you a badge, a smaller one that you can use on your website, your social media. It's a square. It's social media friendly.
Oh, right.
And then we have an email one that you can put in your signature. If anybody has emailed Patrick or I, you know what I'm talking about. It's in our signature. So that's what that was. But we're excited. Also, before I get to their
well, let me back up. So that badge, we used. Why did we do this? Number one. Historically, people that sponsor things have been the industry partners. It's been a little unbalanced, right? We think the next real estate bubble is the sponsorship bubble. And so we're shifting it back to the companies that actually are doing great things.
Right.
Totally low cost, by the way.
Right.
I mean, you get a free ticket to the summit to be a sponsor.
Right.
Sustaining sponsor. So it's 12 months.
It's 12 months. It's a full
exposure.
year of sponsorship.
Full year of sponsorship. It's a no-brainer cost.
Yeah.
And the management companies can use it to leverage recruiting. They can leverage, hey, look, we're a company that care about the future of women in this industry.
Absolutely.
Right. And so it's exciting to see those brands come on. Every email you send, it goes to your industry partners. They get it, and it becomes, as a salesperson, it becomes that talking point. Like,
absolutely.
Oh, that's
what
interesting.
Is that?
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Like, oh my gosh, I did this thing, and it was really cool.
Right.
So.
I will say that we have another speaker that we'll talk about more in depth next week, but Dana from Bainbridge, Dana Cottle, is going to be on our stage at the Women's Summit, so we're very excited about having her as well.
And she's the president, right?
President of Multifamily.
The Bainbridge?
Yeah. So we are very excited for her. But Bainbridge is growing big time here. I'm gonna take a look at this. We've got Alicia Bush joining the team as Regional Vice President in Atlanta. Alicia comes with 20 years of experience, so that's huge. Christy Sanchez, Vice President of Property Management in Austin, Texas. Again, 20 years.
Yay.
Then we've got Julia Watson has been promoted, so she's already at Bainbridge. She's getting promoted to Senior Vice President of Property Management.
How exciting.
It's very exciting. So they are making moves in the right direction, it sounds like.
Yeah, those are big roles.
Yeah.
Growing company, exciting times.
Yeah.
Good, fresh thought leaders. Someone to watch.
Yeah.
People to watch.
And then we had a submission from Dana Peller with Adivo Construction. Congratulations to Adivo for winning the 2019 Apartment Community Improvement of the Year Award from the Louisville Apartment Association for Halsey Flats. So congratulations. Thanks for submitting your good news. We love it.
Not only is that good news for them, it's good news for that property because they're probably driving rents and a better experience and retaining residents better.
Right.
But the investors that are behind all of those things are starting to realize, like, hey, here's a company. I didn't know about them, top of mind. Maybe I'll consider them for the next thing,
Right.
or
Right.
so we've got to champion the wins in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Thank you to everyone who's commenting and watching. We are excited.
Yeah, and so let us know in the comments, what do you think of the show? Ideas for the show. Send us emails.
What do you guys want to know about? I mean,
Well, we have a plan.
Well, we do have a
and
plan.
we have an opportunity every week to do those things, but we do want to hear from you. This is what makes multifamily go around. It's a people organization. It's a people industry. But the people are changing, right? It's shifting. The customer's shifting. The industry has just kind of exploded into, instead of this sort of tight-knit industry, there's technology coming in faster than we can handle. And the tech people are trying to understand the real estate people, and the real estate people are trying to understand the tech people. And so together, bring that content to you, and so we can do some fun things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Any other questions or comments? You want to stay on for any questions, and then I think that's towards the end of our segment here.
yeah, I think so.
Wow, we got a lot of people on, so thank you for watching. And
Yes.
I'm Patrick Antrim. This is Carrie Antrim, and we will see you on the next show.